Hello everyone, I'm Carrie and I'm back with another collective reading. I just love to get the vibe, like what's going on with the energy, just kind of check in and see what's happening for us this week or whenever it is that you're watching this. And of course, I just want to say thank you so much for your likes, thank you for subscribing, thank you for commenting. I just appreciate your energy even watching this video. So let's get started and see like what's going on, what's the energy. I just want to pull a couple of cards to get the overall energy and then we'll dive a little bit deeper. Okay, we've got 3 cards, not a couple. 4 cards. And I'm like, no, let's get to it. Is that all of them? I don't know why I swear I saw the sun just now. Very interesting. Not yet. So starting out, we've got Knight of Swords Renewal, which, is that Judgment? I want to say it's Judgment. Page of Pentacles and the Hermit. So if we are just going to be talking about what's going on, like what's the energy for now, let me think about it. I'm feeling the same energy of like the new year, of you like, you know, new year, new me, like starting something new. I kind of still see that energy showing up here, and I mean, it is still January, so it's like, especially with this renewal card, I see beginnings and endings. Like it feels like a start and a finish sign, which I mean makes sense. The finish is the start because it's the start of a new journey, a new way of looking at things, a new way of going about things. But especially because this Knight of Swords energy is first, it's like, okay, making that decision and really putting some real effort into the new whatever, the new person you want to become, if you want to look differently, like when in terms of working out, if you want to, you know, do better when it comes to like your knowledge, you know, learn something new, if you want to work on your relationships, like I just see this driven energy, and which is really making me reminding me of the new year and how we, you know, in the new year, like we ain't playing no games, like we ready, we're about to do it, we got to go, we're gonna achieve in the new year. Now in March things might be different, but it's January now, we got it right now. We're doing it. We're driven. We're focused. We are not playing around. And it's like, okay, now start. It's like the time 00 I'm seeing here, like January 1st at midnight, 12:01. Boom. This is what's happening. And then we got the Page of Pentacles. But this is really making me think of just like being new. It's talking about trying something new, wanting to have a new body, new whatever you want it to be new for the new year. It's kind of like going about doing that, but like you're just starting. So it's still the Page of Pentacles. You haven't like mastered that thing yet. So you're just kind of starting. And because of that, it's like you are reorienting yourself to the light. And the light in this case is what I'm thinking. It's kind of just like your right path. This is the Hermit card. So we're talking about Virgo energy. We're talking about like being in solitude and really focusing on finding the truth. Finding the answers, finding what's like true for you, and then shining that light in that direction. This is kind of like, you know, trying to see in the dark type energy, but you got a little bit of a light, and you're only illuminating a little bit at a time. Sorry, it's like a tongue twister. You're only illuminating a little bit at a time. So like you deciding to make these changes in your life has just kind of helped you see more clearly the path that you want to be on. Like, you know, in a new year, we're always coming up with our new affirmations, like not affirmations, what is it? Vision board. There we go. We come up with our vision board and we have like this goal and we're orienting ourselves towards that goal. But normally it's orienting ourselves towards a person who we are not quite yet. Because there might be some habits that we still don't have yet, or like things that we're just working on so that we can become better or better ourselves. That's really what I'm seeing here when I see this. It's like you have the intention, you have like you're really focused and driven on it. You have begun, you've ended your old life and begun a new one. As soon as that clock turns, you're like, all right, let's start over. Let's turn the page on something new. And now you're beginning, but you might not be, you know, an expert at it just yet because you're just a beginner, which is fine. That's the first step in the process, is to be a beginner before you become an expert. And because that, you're kind of just orienting yourself to be a whole different person. Just some clarifying cards. Oh, these cards are like, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to be clarified. I need one more. There's one. One more. All right, we'll take it. They're both fire, 5 and 6. I'll scoot that up a little bit. Okay, so these clarifying cards are literally doing a great job. They're doing a great job at clarifying what I was just talking about, especially when it comes to like the new year. Because we got the Knight of Swords, which I was telling you is like that driven, focused energy. It's like, okay, this is my goal. This is what I'm going to be achieving in the new year. And then we have this Eight of Pentacles. It's all about putting action behind those intentions. It's like putting in the work. You see them putting in the work, and it's like physical work. So you're really out there. Especially like I'm really getting the energy of working out, because I know a lot of people in the new year are working out. Even physically, like learning more information about something, or whether it's not, like if you're literally in the workshop like these people, working on a prototype for something or creating something, or you like finishing up. I'm thinking about like Christmas time, the little elves working to make the toys. I think that's how it goes. So like even if you're like finishing up some work from before, really working hard to meet a deadline, like you just have a focus, like you're driven and focused on completing something or doing something or achieving something. I'm really seeing that. And then with renewal being clarified by the High Priestess, this is about you being very clear on your vision. Like, this is where I'm going to go when I start. I know what I want. I see it in my mind's eye. This is what I'm really focusing on. So when this clock turns, when it's the first of the year, when it's 2024, I clearly see a vision for myself. And it's so clear in mine right now. And then we've got the Page of Pentacles being clarified by the King of Cups. Again, I also see the clarity of vision. It's like there's no doubts in your mind. Like there's not anything that's going to be able to sway you this way or that, because you're very clear on what it is that you want to do. You're clear on your purpose. You're clear on the actions that you're going to take. Even within your emotions, you're clear. So it's not like your friend can be like, "Oh, that's your goal. That's stupid." Like that wouldn't get to you right now, because you know what it is that you want. You focused on it. You've written it down. If you decided to write your goals for the new year, and you're just like really like that's it for you right now. It's like, no, every day I'm about to get up, I'm going to make my breakfast, I'm going to get my day started. I'm starting an hour earlier so I can study this, and so I can do that, so I can wake up and have extra time for myself for meditation. Like, you've got your goals in mind, and you're doing them, you're achieving them, you're putting your effort into it, and your emotions are not there at all. Not to say that they're not there at all, but if it ain't positive, you're not really looking at it. If your emotions are saying, "Oh, I don't want to get up this morning," you're not listening to it. You're really not letting that affect or sway your actions. And then we've got the Hermit clarified by the 5 and 6 of Wands. It's interesting because the Hermit is holding this light, and these wands, they're all, I can basically see them as all little torches. Just torches everywhere. So it's really making me think about illumination. One thing that you learn in the new year is the habits that you can continue to do, and the habits that you're not really good at. I don't know if you've, because I'm really thinking about Atomic Habits. If you've read that book, like, it was so life-changing for me. So if you haven't read it, I just suggest you read it, especially if you're trying to make some changes in your life, because it's all about the small changes that you make that can just add up to huge changes and differences in your life. So for example, if every single year you have the same exact goal, but you have never achieved that goal, then you might, and hopefully you will, go about it in different ways every single year. So for example, if it's weight loss and you decide, all right, I'm gonna stop eating these foods, I'm gonna quit cold turkey, I'm gonna start going to the gym, I'm gonna get up at 5 a.m. Like, if you decide to do that and make some huge changes like that, you might notice in your life that you might be good at it, for a couple of weeks, but after a certain amount of time, those habits, because they're so far different than what your normal lifestyle is, it kind of starts to weigh on you and you feel like you're running out of steam and energy to achieve those things. And it's like, okay, this is just a lot of huge change. It's hard for me to keep up with that because there's so much huge change going on at once. But you might see certain things that do stick. So while you might not go, you might not go to the gym every day, you might actually be able to get up at 5 o'clock every day and have that extra time for yourself. It's like, oh, I can do this. The getting up part for me is easy, but the physically getting to the gym part is hard. Or you might, if you have like an eating better thing, you know what, going shopping for the groceries and like making out my list, I can do that easy. It's just the cooking part. Like, I don't want to actually cook it. I got all this food, but I'm not in the mood to cook. Okay, let me readjust my plan. So sometimes I think, especially right now, because I'm seeing this hermit, it's like the illumination is kind of helping you see and understand, like, why was it last year that I wasn't able to achieve my goal? Oh, because these were the things that were holding me back. So let me see if right now I can come up with some new ways or new methods to help it just be a little bit easier for me. Maybe this year I'm not going to quit 5 things cold turkey. I'm not going to quit smoking immediately. I'm going to go ahead and start reducing the number of cigarettes that I smoke every day. I'm not going to just quit cold turkey because I tried that last time, it didn't work. So let me try one less a day, or let me try to shorten the length of time that I'm smoking per day. Like, you know, making smaller changes again for you to like really give yourself a chance of achieving these huge goals. Like, sometimes people don't realize how huge their goals are. I know for me, I have definitely underestimated myself, just thinking like, oh yeah, I can do this, it's easy. And it can be something as small as getting up an hour earlier. I don't want to be up super early in the morning. I like to sleep in. I like to wake up soft. So I'm upset anytime an alarm has to wake me up. So if I need to get up an hour earlier and I want to work on, you know, getting up an hour earlier but still waking up softly, then I'm going to really have to learn how to implement that in my everyday life, because I don't want alarms waking me up. I just want to roll out of bed peacefully and happily. And for me, how would I make that work? I would just slowly start. I don't know. I don't know how I would do that. Maybe I would have an alarm in the beginning, and then I would just have myself accustomed to waking up at that certain time if I'm very, very stable and steady with it. We'll see. I don't know. Thankfully, that's not one of my goals this year. So I'm really just seeing like the beginning of you starting something new, and then you learning some things from that. Hopefully you're learning things about yourself. These are things I'm just wanting to say, like, there's no such thing as failure, especially when you're trying to start something new and do something new, because you're learning about yourself and you're figuring out how you can make this into a success for you. Especially like if you have the weight loss thing and you want to lose weight. Something that I learned for me is that if I don't have the food in my house, I'm not going to eat it. And for me, it's been so helpful. Like in the past when I've tried to lose weight, I didn't understand why I couldn't, like I was going to the gym all the time, but when I was at home, I was eating whatever. But if I don't have whatever at home, then I'm not going to eat it, because I am not going to call Uber Eats. I don't want to pay all that money. I am not going to get off of my sofa and go buy anything, because I am not trying to get off my sofa and go anywhere. So I know if I don't have it, I'm not going to eat it. And that's how I help myself to lose weight. Help myself to, if I was going to the gym, help myself to not be snacking on things because I just didn't have it. So I had to be more regular with my meals, and I had to pay more attention to what I was eating, and I had to like have food ready so that I wasn't needing to snack as much. So those were the things that I learned about myself. Like, oh, well, let me make this easy for me and not just have it available. Let me make this easy for me and go ahead and have my meals pre-made so that I'm not sitting there like starving, craving all kinds of things. Let me make this easy for me by being myself and knowing that I'm not about to pay these people to bring me some food. I'm not going to do it. Okay, so let's get some advice. I'm just feeling called to get a little bit of extra advice for this reading. Okay. Let's get some advice here. Woo. What came out first? What that did. I don't like how messy this is looking. Okay, I love this advice. It's beautiful. Because we're starting off with these Two of Pentacles. You can see this guy's up here juggling. He's like, he got multiple things. And the clock is 1, so time is 1. But he's also, not only is he juggling, he's on a boat in the ocean. It doesn't look like the calm ocean. It's kind of rough looking. And he's on a tightrope on the boat in the rough ocean, juggling. Like, there's a lot of things going on. And this is really giving me the energy of like changing. If you're making a lot of changes at once, juggling a lot of different things, like immediately you started in the new year with a whole different schedule, one that your body is not even used to, and so you might be seeing some resistance right now, which is making me think of that rough ocean behind this guy. Like, there's some resistance right now, and the advice that I'm seeing is to come back to center with yourself. The Lover's card is all about you and you, that yin yang, being at one with yourself, like really just you and you being on the same page. And so if you're noticing that something is difficult for you, like kind of understand and go back, like talk to yourself about it. Like literally, I'm talking about you getting on a whole different schedule. Like if you're trying to wake up earlier and you're just noticing some resistance, like you're having some trouble with it, understand that your body is not used to waking up earlier. So giving yourself some like grace there. Maybe instead of trying to do it all at once, slowing it down a little bit and getting into the rhythm. Maybe I'm going to wake up 10 minutes earlier. Maybe I'm going to wake up 20 minutes earlier the next day or the next week. But really like understanding how your body works in rhythms, and that it was already on a rhythm. And when you decide to change that rhythm, there's going to be a little bit of resistance there, especially if it's a major change. So coming back to yourself and like honoring yourself in that, and understanding that it's not... like, it's literally not a race. You have time. This is January. If you want to make it last all the way until December, making the things that you want, like and like the frequency of change. The frequency of change doesn't have to be tomorrow. It can be in a few months. You know, understanding that you giving giving yourself grace is also you giving yourself the time to truly do what it is that you need to do, and not trying to like force yourself to make these changes, knowing that all last year you were not able to do it. Not to say that you weren't able to do it, but all last year this is not something that you achieved, I'm assuming. And then this year, if you want to achieve it, like not trying to make up for lost time, but understanding that this is a whole new year. I have whole new opportunity, and I have until 2025 to achieve my goal. I mean, of course, you have a much longer time, but just knowing that you don't have to achieve your goal yesterday. It can be a future thing, and being realistic with yourself and not trying to force yourself to make up for, like, you cannot make up for things that didn't happen in the past. Like, you just have to start from today. And that's what I'm seeing for these Lovers cards. Like, really give yourself grace. Forgive the past and move on. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. This is all about putting in the work and then looking back and seeing, okay, what is working, what is not. Let me make some small adjustments. And because this is the advice, it's just kind of saying, like, this is what you can be doing. If you're feeling like this person, juggling on a tightrope in a rough ocean on a boat, like, and you have 4 balls, not 3 or 4 things that you're juggling. If you feel like you're overwhelmed, really going back and looking at the fruits, like, okay, all these changes that I'm making, what has actually stuck? What has actually like moved me forward? Like, what is actually something that is working? Let's start with that, and then slowly make some changes based off of that. Let's adjust. Let's, make this actually work for us instead of stressing myself out. Then we got the Page of Cups. This lady looks shell-shocked a little bit. It says sensitive, open-hearted, inexperienced, moody messages regarding relationships, new emotional experiences, heightened psychic abilities. Like, I really just feel like here, especially if you're feeling this way, it can kind of make you feel like not yourself. So you might be a little bit moody, especially if we have decided, like, I don't know, I was thinking like some people who decide for the new year, they don't want to drink coffee anymore. So they like completely cut their coffee supply, knowing that that is a chemical that you've been putting in your body every day. It's going to kind of change the way you feel. So paying attention to how the things that you have been doing have really been affecting you. It can literally be affecting your mood. You know, if you decide to work out, at first you might be tired, and then later on is where you get that energy because you like have helped yourself boost your energy. But you might be really tired and exhausted at first. If you decide to stop smoking, that's going to have some benefits, of course benefits, but it's going to affect your health as well, because the smoking could have been used to help your mood. And now that you don't have that, then what else are you going to be doing? So kind of understanding like I need a substitute for this, or I need to kind of help myself mentally overcome this, rather than relying on this cigarette. Then what else can I do or reach for or try when I'm feeling like I want to have a cigarette, instead of just being moody and upset? How can I like honor myself and my need at that time? Like how else can I honor myself? So the advice here is to really like help yourself. It's like be on your own side. You're making all of these major changes in your life, but understand and know that they are affecting your mood. They are affecting your daily schedule. Like things are actually changing, and with change comes some adjustment, and adjustment can sometimes be uncomfortable. Just honoring yourself in that and doing your best to make it work the best for you. And sometimes for me that means not being so adamant about making major changes, but allowing myself to slowly adjust to the changes, slowly like adjust myself, like turning the knob instead of just like all the way on 10, slowly turning the knob so that I can adjust to. So it won't affect my mood so much, and so that I have a better chance of me continuing these same habits through the entire year. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening. That is our collective reading. All right, I'll see you next time.